It was a bright summer morning in the small town of Larksville. Emma glanced at the sun peeling through her curtains, a sign of another perfect day. As she swung her legs out of bed, she felt a surge of energy coursing through her veins. Thoughts raced through her head, fragmentary and chaotic. Ideas about writing a novel, repainting her entire apartment, and learning to play the violin. She felt invincible and brimming with potential. Emma stepped outside, greeted by the melodic chirping of birds, feeling as if she could conquer the world. She met her friend Sarah at a cafe, talking incessantly about her plans. Sarah was used to Emma's exuberant moods, but noticed her energy was unusually high. They both laughed, Emma's joy infectious, but Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that it was all too intense. As days passed, Emma's zeal grew relentless. Her nights turned into endless projects, and her days into frantic attempts to materialize every fleeting thought. As her apartment filled with canvases and the sound of violin strings, Emma herself felt like a spectator in her own life, unable to slow the manic whirl. Then came the shift, as sudden as a midsummer storm. Emma woke up to a world devoid of color. The sun seemed dull, and the songs of the birds a distant echo. Her body heavy and sluggish, the mere act of getting out of bed seemed arduous. The lively plans that once danced in her mind now sat weighty and meaningless. Emma felt imprisoned by her own thoughts, the silence in her head louder than any noise. Her friend Sarah, perceptive and caring, noticed the shift and reached out. They sat in the same cafe, Emma now quiet, withdrawn, and enveloped in her own turmoil. "You know, it's okay to ask for help," Sarah gently suggested, her voice a tether of warmth and understanding. Emma nodded, her eyes brimming with tears. She knew she had bipolar disorder, a fact she struggled to acknowledge, fearing the stigma and the weight of labels. But Sarah's words broke through her isolation, offering a glimpse of hope. Taking the first steps, Emma reached out to a therapist. With each session, she began to understand her cycles, learning to embrace the highs with a grounded approach and navigate the lows with self-compassion. She realized her value didn't lie solely in productivity or the absence of being miserable, but in the mosaic of her existence, with all its complexities. Emma's journey was far from over, but she knew she wasn't alone. She had Sarah and the profound strength within herself. Each day, she learned to find balance, to appreciate the moments of peace and the resilience that emerged from facing her challenges.